Good morning to all the students of political science, class 12th once again here. As students, as you know, we were doing our third chapter and we are going to continue the third chapter once again here. And this time we are doing part number 7 and the topic name is India's relationship with US. Most of the important topics we are already covered in the last 6 parts, and the 7th part I am doing this topic, India's relation with US. So what after disintegration of USSR, what was the relation of US with India? So taking the first point here, during Cold War, as you know very well, India had a good conditions or the good relations with the Soviet Union, that is USSR. But what happened after the Cold War, when the Cold War was over in 1991, when USSR disintegrated? So what happened after Cold War? India-US relationship improved. There was an improvement in the relationship of India and US. And what was the, as I told you, in the international arena, there are no friendship like a thing. There are always a personal motive or benefits which a country wants to take from the other country. So there was an improvement in the relation of India and US. There must be a reason for that. And what was the reason? That is, India decided to liberalize its economy in 1991. That is after the disintegration of USSR, there was a liberalize in the economy of India. That's it. Previously, India used to be a closed economy where no foreign country or the other countries were allowed to have any trade, commerce, or any investment in our country or in our economy. But after 1991, India liberalized its economy, means we had an open economy where the other countries or the other foreign groups could invest in the different companies or trade and commerce. Here, India had a closed economy previously, but it led to liberalize. Open economy means liberalization, privatization, and globalization. In these three terms, we will be studying in the later chapters. We can also call it LPG. This is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Okay, so this led to the change in the relationship of US and India when India gave opportunities to other countries like USA to come and have some foreign investment or MNCs in our country. And America found India as an attractive economic partner, and America saw India as an attractive economy which could give a good economy from India. So what were some important facts are given of India-US relationship in terms of economy? Of India's total software export, India manufactures software exports. Of these total software export, 65% is to US only. Okay, 65% is only to US, these exports of software. Most of American companies have large number of Indian employees. If we see today, as we know in our society, many people want to work in the foreign companies, and these are American companies also. In these, most of the employees are from India. Example is taken for a particular company, 35% of Indian technical staff. So here I was telling you, for example, 35% of technical staff of Boeing, it is a for American company, is of Indian origin. Here in this company, 35% technical staff, all the members of technical staff, 35% out of them are of Indian origin. More than 3 lakh Indians work in Silicon Valley. So this is the place where 3 lakh Indians are still working. So these are the conditions where Indians have got the opportunity to work for America, which are getting because of the good relationship between US and India. So India, next point is India had to decide exactly what type of relationship it wanted with US. With the India, debate seems to be around the three possible strategy. Here many people visualize and debate that what kind of relationship India and US should be having. So if we look at those debates, people have debated over 3 points, that there should be 3 type of relationship, that is possible strategies. First is, few people say India should maintain its aloofness from US. That is, as we know, US is the most superpower, and one superpower can take advantage of the developing countries. So as we want to be a friend with US, we want to take advantage from US, but along with it, it is very dangerous to be in close relationship with such a country, because for their own motives, for their own profit, they can harm the other country easily. So some say that we should maintain a gap or a distance from such a superpower. Second set of people say India should take advantage of US hegemony. Other set of people are saying that, as we know, US is such a strong economy, such a strong military, such a strong culturally and ideologically. We should take advantage from US hegemony, from their friendship. We should develop our economy, develop our society, culture, so we can have a positive impact of US hegemony on India. But the third group of people say India should take lead in establishing. India should not be involved in US or the other powerful country, but India should lead coalition. Coalition means a group, merging of groups of developing. It means India should make a group of developing countries, and India should lead that particular group of countries in different possible manners. So these were the different possible strategies which set of people have debated, particularly on the particular relation of US and India. And the next topic I am taking here in this part is a small topic. How can hegemony be overcome? What are the factors or what are the elements that we can overcome hegemony or the most superpower? The first is how we can challenge them or how can we support them. Military coalition means alliance, or we can say merging. Okay, military coalition, like we know, except US is the most superpower if we talk of military. But except this, there are other powers, means 2, 3, 4, 5. Like means 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4, 5 countries. If they merge their military, this super, but later on these superpowers, if they merge their military and make it a coalition, they can challenge the US military. This is one of the method given to challenge the hegemony of US in the current scenario. Next method which we are talking about is bandwagon strategy. So you must know what is bandwagon strategy. To extract benefits by operating within a hegemonic system in place of opposing it. See it carefully. To extract benefit, to take benefits of whom? Of the most superpower country, that is US, in place of opposing it. Where, as we know, this is the most superpower country if we talk of soft power, military power, or structural power. So why we should challenge it, or why should we go in opposing its policies, and why should we protest against it? It would be better that we work according to its policies and plans and operate for our own development in different fields with hegemonic system instead of opposing it. Take advantage of superpower to improve the economy of state. We should focus on the economy of our particular state. We should focus on our own motive, taking advantage of the power of US as a hegemony at current scenario. So this method of taking advantage of the most super country instead of opposing its plans and policies, this strategy is called bandwagon strategy. And the third strategy to overcome the hegemony of US, third was given hide. What is hide? Stay away from dominant power. Which was a dominant power? US. One method was given that we should stay away from US as possible. But this was applicable, or we could apply this method of hide from US only on the LDCs, applicable only to LDCs, because these least developed countries, US did not focus much on them because they were just developing. They had a small economy. They didn't have anything which could attract US towards these countries. But the developing countries and the developed other countries, the US kept a close watch on these powers, because US always kept close watch because it thought that they may produce some other weapons which could challenge the power of US. US also looked for the other economic development opportunities which US can attract from them. So these are the three methods to overcome US hegemony. With this we come to the end of this chapter, and students, please keep doing your assignments on time and submit them, and in the next part we will be starting the fourth chapter. Till then.